Kiti. Welcome everyone. Welcome to our show today. I hope you're all excited. We have a very good show today. We're gonna go to part 2 of our money talks. I want to welcome everyone. For those who followed us last week on Sunday, we talked about a lot of things. So welcome everyone. I'm gonna give maybe 2 minutes to let everyone join in. Please sign in, share the video, share this live feed to your friends. We're gonna be starting very soon. So thank you so much for being with us. We're gonna do part 2 of our Let's Talk About Money, Savings and Family. So welcome everyone. As I said earlier, we appreciate all of you guys. Let me take my internet here, my Wi-Fi off so that I can go. Okay, that's good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna be talking again about our program, Money Talks, investment, family, and we will learn together. Today I will try to see if I can ask a few questions. Thank you, Eric. We are happy to see you there. Thanks for your support, my friend. And we love you and God bless. So yeah, welcome. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna recap. I don't know if we are now 7:04, and we are supposed to be beginning at 7 p.m. So I'm gonna give 1 more minute before we start, and then we should be get going. So if you want to help us more, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and we would love to get your feedback on what you want us to talk about, what you want us to improve on, what you want us to teach our community about. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We're gonna start. I'm excited today. I'm happy. You know, I had a walk with my wife and my son. We went on the river walk at the Forks, and this was a beautiful day outside today. There were so many people. So yeah, it was a very good day. So I'm feeling refreshed. So thank you so much. So we're gonna recap what we talked about last Sunday. So remember, we're gonna be doing our show every Sunday at 7 p.m. So please share our live feed with your friends. This might help somebody. We are doing this is to help someone, right? A lot of us have issues with money. A lot of us have a bad relationship with money. Money is like that ex that you don't want to deal with, right? So let's learn how to have a good relationship with money, right? That's why we are here. Let's learn how to make our money work for us. Let's learn how to make our money go far, and that's why we are here. Asante kwa wote wanatusikia. Karibu. Please join in. And I'm happy. So we're gonna recap what we talked about last Sunday before we get into our next subject. Today we're only gonna have 40 minutes. That's it. So last Sunday we did talk about the parable of talents. That was what we talked about these guys that their master gave them each talent. So one received 5 talents, the other one received 2 talents, and the other received 1 talent. Right, so please share the videos with your friends, share the live stream with your, the people you know, and it will help all of us, right? So maybe I should stay right a little bit less. So thank you everyone. So the parable of talent goes as follow. So this master went on a trip, right? And then he gave, 3 of his servants talents. So he gave one 5 talents, he gave the other 2 talents, and he gave the last one 1 talent. So he went on a trip. So, and then he, let them do whatever they want to do. So the first guy who got 5 went and take the talents to the business. He went and, like put it in the market. So he earned some interest on the talents. So he got 5, he earned another 5, right? That's called interest. So he got interest on his money, right? So those talents are like money. So look at them as money. So the whole story is in Matthew, I think 25. The story of talents, right? So, so that is in Matthew 25. So that one person got 5 talents, he turned it into 10 talents. And the other guy got 2 talents, that's money, right? He turned it into what? He turned it into 4 talents. When the king, when the emperor came, the master. And then the last guy who they gave also 1 talent, instead of turning into at least doubling it or at least get a half, or get more interest, this guy decided to bury his talent. He buried his money. It's like people who have money in the bank account and they leave it in their checking account or they leave it in their savings account, right? So the guy, buried the talents in the ground. So when the master asked him, hey, what did you do with my money? This guy said, well, master, I was very afraid because I know you love money, right? So I didn't want to spend your money. I didn't want to play with it. So I decided to bury it. And the master's like, what? You could have got interest on my money. Why did you decide to bury this talent? Why did you decide to bury my money instead of making it work for me when I come back? If you knew I love money, you could have made my money work and earn interest on it. So the whole idea on that story is, if you have money, make your money work for you. Make your money bring more money. Huh? We're going to talk about compounding interest. Compound interest. That's an interesting word, but it's a beautiful word if you know what it means. Right? So we're going to learn today on a few ways that you can increase your money. A few ways that you can double your money. Right? So there's so many ways. Right? Back home you hear people have $1 million in their house under the mattress. And they're like, how do you do this? How can you keep such a big amount of money in your house when this money could be working for you? Right, so that's one of the things we talked about. And another thing we did, so the master decided to kick that servant out, the one who didn't increase the money. They kick him out, and the master said, you are a fool. You are a fool, because I gave you my money and you didn't do nothing of it. But the other 2 that doubled the money, he said, you have been blessed. You have been, you have done with the least, you will be blessed with the most. What you have done with the least, you will be blessed with the most. So it's all about learning how to earn interest. We are here to talk about money. Money is a very sensitive subject in this country. People don't like to talk about money. People hate talking about money. So that's why I'm here. We will go this journey together. We will talk about money and we will learn how to make your money work. Right? So please stay tuned. Share our live stream. Another thing we're going to learn is this. What we talked about the last time is friendship. Picking the right friend is key in your life, right? Choose which kind of friend you hang out with. Choose which kind of friend you associate with, right? There's a saying that we all know that goes by, bad company corrupt good morals. So when you have bad friends, you become eventually bad, right? That's how it is. So make quality friendships. Choose quality friendship. Hi, Christy. I miss you. So, yeah. So, quality friendship is very key, right? In my life, I've learned to maintain good friendships, right? I know so many people. I have so many acquaintances, right, that we talked. But I have very few friends. Because I like to bring people in my space that are going to make me grow. I like to bring people in my space that are going to make me grow, either mentally or, emotionally or in terms of money, right? I want to associate myself with people who are successful than me because I want to aspire for that, right? My sister has a company and her word is aspire to inspire, right? Aspire to become great. Aspire to become financially stable, right? And that's what we are here for. We are talking about money. We are talking about relationships. In North America, finances or money is the number one cause of divorce, right? The number one cause of divorce in North America is money, right? So we have to learn to have a good relationship with money. We shouldn't be scared of money. You shouldn't be scared to open your mail because you're owing money, right? So that's one of the things we discussed last time. So friendship is huge. I will tell you a little story about friendship as we go forward. I'm gonna try to be a little brief today because we have a very little time. So my friend, my brother, I have a brother. My brother is Nick. For some of you guys that know my brother at one point in his life decided to hang out with some friends, right? So, we didn't think those friends were good for him. But, when you talk to someone, especially when you're in your teenage years, you have a lot of opinions, right? So we said, hey, these friends are not good. They're bad news, these guys. But my brother wanted to hang out with them. So he started hanging out with these guys. My brother had a phone, right? A working line that was working perfectly. So eventually, my brother, got into this group, and after a little while, my brother's phone was disconnected. But we came to find out that all his friends, his entire circle of friends, they don't have phones. Like they're all on WhatsApp. They're all on Wi-Fi. They only call when they're on Wi-Fi. They only call when they find an internet connection somewhere, right? But that was all his entourage. So eventually, him who came in that entourage, he had a perfectly working phone. He was paying his bill on time every month. But at the end of the day, he became like his friends, who also their phone got cut off because he became delinquent in paying his phone. So they cut it off, right? So that's to show you what friends do eventually with your character, right? Your friends determine how successful you will become. Your friends determine how unsuccessful you become. If you start hanging out with people who are all on welfare, eventually you're going to realize there's no point in working. There's no point in going to work, right? So you have to keep in mind on that. If you start hanging out with people who are borrowing more than they can afford, people who are getting debt after debt, right? You are going to become like those people eventually. So it's very important to choose your friend. The quality of your friendships should really matter to you. And this, I want to add something on that. For parents who are listening, who are following us, it's something you need to start doing with your children as they are young. As your children are growing, start seeing who is associating with my child, who is becoming friends with my child, who is my child talking to. It's very important because when your child starts hanging out with children who don't have any manners, eventually your child becomes like that. So please start watching out who are your child's friend, right? Who is your child hanging out with at school? Get to know this person. Get to know his family or her family. It will save you a world of trouble ahead of time, right? So that's one of the things we talked about. So foster quality relationships. It's better you have one friend who is advancing you than having a million friends who are just pulling you back, right? Avoid use. There's also another stat they did that you earn 2,000 to 3,000 within what your friends make, right? So who you associate with, it ties financially too, right? Not just about life, but also your income. It's seen in who you hang out with. So in your best interest, it's best to find friends who are being successful. Find mentors in your life. Find people that are going to help you in your journey, right? Thank you so much for that. So a friend of mine asked me, I have a friend of mine, he's a Nigerian friend of mine. He asked me this question. He said, Baraka, but what if I have my friends and these guys, maybe they're not successful, but they want to be successful. They are dreaming on being successful, right? So, can I still be hanging out with them although they're kind of making less than I do? And I said, that's your call. But, if you see friends that have a vision to succeed, if you see friends that are taking you somewhere, those are the kind of people you should hang on to. Hang on to those kind of friendship. But don't be hanging around with people that are pulling you back. I for one, have been through that. I've had both sides. I've had friends who inspired me to be great, right? And I've also had friends who were just there to drink and talk and gossip. In fact, on my first job, I will tell you a story. On my first job in Canada, when I first came to Canada, hello Chris, how are you doing, my brother? Samba, thank you, my man Sam. In my first job, I was working with this guy, and he's a Canadian guy. And this guy is 6'6", maybe, big guy, big dude. And so we made some friendships. Usually after work, he will invite me. He say, hey, Baraka, come chill with me. Let's go play some music at my place. I have no problem. I love music. So we will go to his place, and he will play music. Boom, he play music. While he's playing music, he's rolling slowly. He's, his weed, his blunt. He wants to smoke while he's playing music. And I had no problem with that. It's not my business, not my life. So the dude will be playing his music while he's smoking, right? His weed. And so he say, hey, Baraka, you want me to roll you one? I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you, though. I'm all right. I'm just here for the music. So eventually, the next day I will come again, or the next week, and he will be asking every time, hey, do you want me to roll you one? I'm like, no, you just smoke. I'm fine. I will just listen to the music. Eventually, this guy started pushing me, right? He started pushing me to smoke with him, right? And I'm like, hey, buddy, I'm not here to smoke with you. I'm here to just listen to music with you, right? I was very direct with him, because I knew I don't want to be starting smoking, right? So I told him, hey, we are here only to chill and listen to music. If you want to smoke, go ahead and smoke, but don't force me to smoke, right? If I tell you no, in fact, this is what I told him. If I tell you no, it's a no with a capital N, right? There should be a no, a resounding no. And I'm not going to do it. I don't care how you force me. And if you want us to continue hanging out together, you have to stop forcing me. You will play music and that's it. And this is a dude who's twice my size. He's 6'6" or 6'7", big guy, right? He looked at me and he was scared. He was like, oh man, nobody has talked to me like that, right? Can you guys hear me well? Someone says I should increase my volume here, but can you hear? Please let me know if you can hear me well. Yeah. So I decided to stop hanging out, with my friend, because I realized he's trying to lead me in a way where I don't want to be going, right? So that's why it's very important what kind of friends you choose, right? Choose the right friends. Choose the people that inspire you. Well, he was a great guy, right? He was a great guy, but he was just, into something that I was not ready to start doing, right? And I said, okay, although he's a good guy, I think I should cut him off. I say, hey, we can talk once in a while, but I'm not going to be hanging out with you that much. Because eventually, if I continued, I would have said one time, hey, you know what? Just give me one. Roll me one, right? And then who knows, right? So, but I was very firm on what I wanted in my life. So please, choose your friends carefully. It's important. It's very important. If all your friends gossip, eventually you're going to become a gossiper. So cut yourself out. Find mentors. Find people that are going to inspire your life. So another thing we talked about last time was we talked about savings, right? And I don't want to be, this is not I'm not a pastor or anything like that. So I'm going to talk about money now and debt. Right? So please share this video with somebody. It might help them. I'm going to talk about debt. And I'm going to just read something just to help so that we understand. So I'm going to read something just quickly so you know that, in what terms I'm talking about. Because my foundation is in the Bible, right? I like to, the Bible has some great examples on how to handle money, right? And the book of Proverbs, for those who don't read the Bible, even if you don't read the Bible, just read the book of Proverbs. It has some amazing ways on how to deal with money, how to deal with life, how to deal with family. It's a great book of wisdom. And the guy who wrote that book, his name is Solomon. For those who don't know Solomon, he was one of the wisest men. He was the richest man on earth. No one has ever had the riches that Solomon had. This guy, they say in today's money, he will be worth maybe $4 trillion. Nobody's even close to that. Right? So he was one of the richest men, one of the wisest men. God asked me, what do you want? He says, I just want wisdom. and understanding. And I said, what? You don't want money? No, I just want wisdom and understanding. And if you look at what he did, he was one of the wisest person. He was one of the richest person. Queens and kings came from all over the world to come to hear his wisdom. Right? They were saying that there was an annual event in Israel. At that time, there was an annual event that all nations came. Right? All nations came to Israel to pay homage to King Solomon. And they said that event was generating almost $30 billion in today's money. $30 billion every year for people, kings and queens, bringing gold, bringing diamonds, even queens will come just to be with Solomon. So he was one of the richest men, one of the wisest men. And I will tell you a story about the book of Proverbs. Before I got married, I told my wife this, my wife to be. I said, hey, sweetheart, before me and you get married, I want you to read the book of Proverbs, the entire book. Read Proverbs. She's like, oh, really? Why? I'm like, it's very important for me, for you to read that book. Now, because I realized one thing, if my wife understands the wisdom that's in the book of Proverbs, we will have a good couple. We will have a good relationship. We will have a good marriage. So she went ahead and read the book of Proverbs. And I did ask her a question about it because I wanted to make sure she did read, in fact. So I did ask a question about a few chapters. What does it say? What does it say? Because it's a very good book. If you're not a Christian, I encourage you, read the book of Proverbs. It will help you. So I'm going to read one thing about debt, right? In the book of Proverbs. So in chapter verse 22, chapter 7, 22, chapter 7, it says, just as the rich rule the poor, so the borrower is servant to the lender. Just as the rich rule over the poor, the borrower is a slave to the lender. Right? So, who's the lender and who's the borrower? When you go and get a $10,000 credit card debt, you are the borrower. The bank is the lender. So you are a slave to that bank. So you have to make sure you find a way to live within your means. Right? Live within your means. You want something, work for it. Work, save before you can get it. There's a term for that. I want to just ask a quick question here. For someone who's going to answer quickly, I want to interact with you guys who are watching. What does delay gratification means? Please, somebody just answer that quickly. What does delay gratification means? In other terms, I will see who's going to be first. Delay gratification. What does that mean? I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds to write that up. What does delayed gratification mean? Delayed gratification. Going 1. Going 2. What does delayed gratification means? Anyone? All right. Delayed gratification means patience. Right? It's just another term for patience. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Delaying pleasure. Right? Thank you, Eric. I knew you'd be the first. So, delayed gratification means delaying pleasure. Delaying is a patience thing. So saying, okay, I want to go on a trip to Cancun. I want to go on a trip to Mexico. But I don't have the money right now. Instead of getting on my credit card, let me start saving $150 a month or $100 a month for the next 10 months so that I can go on my trip to Mexico. Right? That's delayed gratification. You save before you spend. But we're in a world where we want to spend before we save. And that is causing chaos. It's causing a lot of issues in families, in individual finances. People have a mess of finances because we want to get something and we want to get it now. Right? We cannot live like that. We have to learn to be patient. So I just read you that the borrower is a slave to the lender. When you are owing $20,000 in credit card debt, when you go and buy that brand new car, right? And you are paying $40,000, $35,000, and your income is only $30,000, right? You are living, you have committed 8 years of paying that loan, or 7 years of paying that loan. You become a slave to that lender. So, my dear friends, my dear family, my dear community, I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to become very good with your money. Save before you spend. Earn before you spend. Learn to be a saver, not a spender. So thank you so much for everyone who answered for that. Delay gratification is something that should be in your word every single day. It should be something you should teach your children. Teach them, hey, you want something, Junior? Let's work for it. Let's earn it. Don't just give them just because they ask. I see families that give their kids iPad, this and that, just because the child wants it. And then they are ruining that child tomorrow. That child's going to be in debt because they think if I want something, I should get it. And that's not how the world works. So that's what one thing we talked about. So save, save, save. Right? Learn to save. Everybody who has a job, you can be able to save even a little bit. That little bit will become big tomorrow. There's something called compounding interest. Right? That we're going to talk about it today too. What the time is it, Shelly? Oh, okay. So we've been talking for 20 minutes now. So I'm going to move to the next thing. Learn to save. So I'm going to say something about compounding interest. You know, interest is something you earn on your money. And I said last time, there is two types of interest. You pay interest, you pay on your debt. It's called penalty. Interest you pay on debt is called interest. It's called penalty. Asante sana das 3, thank you so much. The interest that you pay on debt, that's penalty. The interest you earn on your money is called reward. Keep that in mind. When you are borrowing, you are paying a penalty. When you are investing, you are gaining a reward, right? So remember that. Learn of the difference between interest, the two interests. If your car is not broke, my friend, fix it, drive it until you can afford to find a car within your means, right? So learn the two types of interest. Interest you pay on a credit card debt, on a line of credit debt, that's a penalty. And the interest you earn on the money that's been saved is called reward. So that's very important. Your mindset is what keeps you poor, right? Your mindset is what keeps you poor. And I'm going to say something. When God created this world and put Adam, God did not give Adam a car. He did not give him a stool. He did not give him chairs in the Garden of Eden. God said, Adam, hey, I gave you a garden. Be fruitful, right? He didn't mean having children. He didn't mean having children every single year. I see in our community, but we're gonna zala kila mwaka. You see people having 9 children. They're living in a 2-bedroom house. They have 9 kids. Muko na zala kila siku. What is that? Right? You are making these children grow up in a very poor environment. When God put Adam in the Garden of Eden, he said, be fruitful. Now, God did not give Adam a chair. He did not give Adam a stool. He did not give Adam anything. He said, hey, you are the king. Adam learned that how I can cut a tree and make my own chair. Adam, when he spoke in the garden, everything listened. Everything followed what Adam said. He was the king of the jungle. He was the king of the garden. So learn to be fruitful. Learn to be multiplying. Learn to be productive. Work hard. Right? Work hard. My grandfather used to say, le travail fait l'homme. It means work is what makes a man. Right? But, what I can also add to that, saving also, that's what makes a man. Because a man that learns to save will not die poor. But a man that just work and eat, that man will have trouble coming in the future. So learn to be positive. Poverty, I will tell you something about poverty. Poverty is the absence of self-production. Absence of self-production is poverty. When you're not producing, when you're not working, when you're not being smart with your money, you're not wise with your money. That's poverty. You can be making $100,000 and living paycheck to paycheck. So you have to learn to become productive with your money. You'll have to learn how to invest your money. And I will talk about investment a little bit later on what you can invest your money on, how you can invest your money, and a few things you can be doing every single day to earn interest on your money. So please stay tuned and share this live to somebody else. It might help a young person out there or anyone that has these issues. So, as I said earlier, poverty is the lack of creativity, not resources. Poverty is the lack of creativity, not resources. You might have resources, but if you're not creative, you will become poor. So you have to learn to work your brain out, to work and say, how can I become, financially stable tomorrow? Avoiding debt. That's very simple to say. Avoid debt. For all those of you who are listening to us, learn to avoid debt. Debt brings you back. Debt is something that you are running on a treadmill, but you never move an inch. That's what debt is. So please avoid that. So now we're going to talk about, I said earlier about, I'm going to explain some people about, stocks and dividends and RRSPs and mutual funds. So there are different ways you can be earning money. You can be earning money and earning interest on your money. So when you are working, most jobs, they offer an RRSP plan. Most jobs, they offer a retirement saving plan or whatever kind of plan. So see your HR at your work and ask them, how can I invest my money? How can I be putting aside something small for tomorrow? Right? So there's that way you can be saving your money for tomorrow, for your retirement, and that will help you tomorrow with your children. Right? And that will help you have a better life tomorrow. And I said it earlier yesterday, I said on last week, that if you start investing $100 a month and you're 20 years old, by the time you are 50 years old, you will become a millionaire. If you start 401k for those who live in the US, that's called 401k. Thank you, Astrid. So if you start investing only $100 a month when you are 20 years old or in your 20s, by the time you turn 50, you will become a millionaire. Because in that money, there's a thing called compounding interest. And somebody asked a question the last time. They did a math quickly, and they said, but that will only be $775,000. And I said, yeah, but you forgot to add interest. Interest. Einstein called compounding interest the seventh wonder of the world. Anyone, I think all of us here knows who's Einstein. Einstein calls compounding interest the seventh wonder of the world because it's magical. You put some money aside and it grows. And it grows tomorrow again. So please learn to do that. Learn to save. Don't be a community of just showing off. Masape, nobody cares about how you dress. Nobody cares about the car you're driving. We don't care how expensive it is. But tomorrow, you might be driving expensive cars today because you didn't apply delayed gratification. And then tomorrow, you are going to be a senior who is poor. Right? Who's going to be living on Social Security or social assistance in Canada. So please be smart with our money. Right? So I talked about different types of stocks, right? So if you want to go in the stock market, you can get some dividend investment, right? These are stocks. So you can either buy single stocks, you can buy stocks, from the biggest companies in the world. There's a Coca-Cola, there's a Costco, there's Walmart, there's a Home Depot, all these big companies. Rogers in Canada, Suncor, all these companies have stocks, right? So they offer people to buy stocks in their companies, right? So please take advantage of that. Start small. Start buying those dividends. Learn, do your homework, right? I'm not asking anyone to do anything here. Do your homework and see what works for you. RBC Bank, all these big major banks in Canada, they offer stocks. So get more in tune with that. Get to learn the terminology of those stocks. I'm gonna explain to you guys. I'm gonna give a link on my YouTube channel. Please, if you're not following us on YouTube, our channel is called Baraka Mulimbo on YouTube. Please subscribe and help us on YouTube. Baraka Mulimbo on YouTube. So our stocks is one another way of getting a little share of that big company. Getting a share of TELUS, getting a share of Rogers is through stocks. Right? You can buy stocks, there's dividend stocks, right? So there's shares, right? For example, let's say a company might be offering 1,000 shares out there. Every share costs $100. Right? If you buy 10 shares, that's $1,000. If that company grows, you also grow, your margin grows. But sometimes stocks market is an up and down kind of game. So today you might be going up, tomorrow it might go down. But eventually it will go up because the companies always continue to be profitable. Right? So there's a company here called, for those who know, Elon Musk. Elon Musk's company is called Tesla. Tesla was worth in 2015 or 2016, I believe, I think $400 stock, a share. But now, Tesla is worth maybe $1,800 a share, right? Companies like Amazon, they are worth $4,000 share. So if you bought them early, today you'll be laughing. So that's another thing I want to encourage people. Look into that. Don't just put your money under the mattress. Look into investing your money. Be a good steward of your money. God, look at your job. If you have a job today, Consider your job an investment to help you grow. Every time you get paid, take some of that money, invest in the stock. Invest it in RSP. Invest it in your mutual fund. Invest it in your 401k for those who are in the US. Your job, every time you get paid, take that paycheck. Look as if your job is funding your future tomorrow. Right? Don't just get paid and eat all of it. Please, let's be good steward of our money. Otherwise, we are going to be the slave to the lenders. Because the borrower is a slave to the lender. So keep that in mind. So there's also, these are different types of stocks. For those who want more questions, I will leave a link under my YouTube channel. So if you go on YouTube, there will be link for this video. There will be links of different types of, last time I talked about Wealthsimple Trade. That's an app I use myself to trade stocks. It's a daily, you can buy stocks with that every day. Buy and sell, whatever. So it's very easy. So I will leave a link under my YouTube channel. So please, those who have not subscribed, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Baraka Mulimbo on YouTube, and you will see a link. That link, if you click on it and you create an account, you will get $10. Free $10 to invest. Right? So I will leave a link under the description on my YouTube channel on Wealth Trade Simple. I like that app because it's a free app. You don't pay for it. And you can buy stocks. Very easy to do. Right? It's very easy to do. But get familiarized with that. There will be a link under the description. So there are funds called index funds. Right? They're different funds, right? In index fund, there are also there's the other ones called ETFs. Right? ETFs now are like a bunch of other stocks. They join together, they become one. So if a bunch of, let's say, all the energy companies, they join together, they become one. All the telecommunication company. So some of them are ETFs, right? So index funds. There's also, so please learn to know about this terminology. Learn about share. Be willing to educate yourself. We are in 2021. Everyone has access to the internet. You have access to YouTube. There is no excuse. Get on YouTube, familiarize, look into stocks, look into different of dividend, look into different of investing, different of mutual funds, right? And that's how you grow wealth. The rich, that's how they continue being rich. And the poor are just buying Gucci's. Now, another thing I want to say, this is important. You know, Gucci, Hennessy, Calvin Klein, all these companies are family names, right? There are certain family that began these companies. So when you go buy a Gucci bag, when you go buy a Louis Vuitton bag, when you go buy a Paco Rabanne, when you go buy a Rolls Royce, you are enriching a certain family. So we have to learn to look at value of our name, right? My last name is Mulimbwa. I want to make sure my name becomes, someone who look at Mulimbwa, they look at us. They look at our success. My children will be Mulimbwas. So, what are you doing with your family name? What are you doing with your name? Your name is powerful, right? Learn to invest in yourself. Learn to invest in your name. Learn to look for tomorrow. We want to have entrepreneurs in our communities. We want to have businesses, not just people talking about gossips. We are having so many shows of people talking about gossips. This one said this. Come and respond. Right? And 80 people are watching. 60 people are watching. But when there's a show that's about teaching, nobody's watching. When someone in our community promotes a business, nobody's interested. When somebody is talking about something important, nobody's there. But when they're talking about gossip, oh my gosh, everybody drops what they're doing. They're all watching gossip. Right? We have to change that mindset. As I said, poverty is a mindset. Let's change that mindset as a community. Let's become a community that's more interested in doing what's good, interested in investing, interested in accumulating wealth. Wealth doesn't come down. There's a study out there. People who win lottery, within 2 to 3 years, they become poor again. Why? They never understand how to deal with money. So they get all this big money, they lose it. So that's one. So I'm going to say another thing here is, so learn about your mutual funds, learn about index funds, right? Index funds and mutual funds, they invest in multiple companies, right? They invest in multiple companies, and then they what? they offer one share, or they offer, they give you a regular person like me and you an ability to look into to buy in that company. So the company become valuable, you gain money, right? So keep that in mind. I want to ask a question in our community. How many of us have apps on our phones that send money? Some of us have Western Union, World Remit, we have MoneyGram, we have RIA, all these apps sending money out, sending money out. How many of us have apps that brings money in? How many have apps that brings money in? We have a lot of apps that send money out. MoneyGram is there, yeah? Western Union is there, RIA is there. All these apps offering you, hey, you got paid, send it out, send your money out. Why? What about downloading apps on your phone that brings you money? And that's where I come in. I said, hey, Wealthsimple is a very easy app to use. Learn to make money. And I said last week, my wife and I, we make an average of about $50 a day on our investment, on buying stocks. Very simple, very simple. But we consistently do that. So you're not going to see my wife and I buying a Gucci bag or buying this thing that are expensive, because we have a delayed gratification. I tell my wife, we are not going to buy it today, honey, but tomorrow we can buy 5 of it. Right? But we look at the long-term game. Long-term game. So compounding interest is huge. Learn to be a good steward of your money. Learn to save your money. Look into different types of stocks. As I said, I will leave description in my on my YouTube channel underneath for the Wealthsimple app. You can click on it, create an account, and when you're ready, you can start investing. You can start buying stocks, this and that, and you get $10, free $10. Another thing is, if you work, go to your HR at your job. Ask them, how can I invest? How can I put money in a mutual fund? How can I put money in my RRSPs? That will help you further your goal of becoming financially independent tomorrow. We want to become a community that's strong. We want to become a community that's wealthy. There's nothing wrong with being wealthy. There's nothing wrong with being financially stable. Nothing. Tushanje ma mindset. Tushanje gisi tunawazaka. Isikuwe tukukula na kujionesha. Manguo, magari hazina maana. Right? Waza juu ya kesho. Waza juu ya kesho. Progress is not an accident. Progress is a decision. You have to decide to change your mindset. You have to decide to change how you think about money, your relationship with money. You have to decide to change that relationship, your friendship. Start getting quality friendships. Start getting friends that come to bring things in your life. One of my friends, he's watching right now. His name is Eric. Eric changed my mind a little bit because Eric gave me a book about money, right? The Dave Ramsey book, right? It's called Total Money Makeover. So this guy gave me this book over a year ago, and I read it. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is a simple fact. So I'm going to say something. For those of you guys who have debt, let's say you have debt. You owe on one card, let's say $5,000. You owe another card, let's say $10,000. Another one, you owe $20,000. And you want to pay them. And you say, how do I pay this debt? I have so much. My advice to you, based on what I've watched and what I've listened to, is from the Dave Ramsey, from the Anthony Owens, from Chris Hogan, and all these guys. What I would strongly suggest is this. When you want to pay your debt, start with the smallest debt. Start with the smallest. If you have a credit card where you owe $5,000 or $2,000, pay that $2,000 first before you pay the $10,000. And the reason for that is because that $2,000 will make you feel like you're doing something. Huh? It encourages you. You'll be like, oh man, look, I got this $2,000 out. Now let me tackle the $5,000. Now let me tackle the $20,000. Right? It gives you that, self kind of happiness. So start with the smallest debt. If you have debt right now and you're watching this live, start with the smallest debt to the biggest debt. Anza na deni ya kidogo mpaka deni ya kabambi. Unaelewa? So start with your smallest debt, pay them off, then move on to the big ones. Start thinking of where you put your money. Rich people tell their money where to go. Remember this. Rich people tell their money, you go here, you go in my investment, you go on the saving, you go on my 6 months of bills, emergency fund. So you tell your money where to go. Poor people wonder where their money went. Right? I have a friend of mine at work. His name is Marcel. Marcel always come and tell me, Baraka, there's 3 types of people in the world. And I'm like, hey, who are they? And he'll be like, there is those people who make things happen. And then there's those people who wonder what happened. Right? And there's those people who watch what happened. Which kind of people do you want to be? And it's he's a guy who likes to tell this all the time. He's told me that joke maybe 50,000 times. And every time he says it, I pretend as if I've never heard it. It's the first time. Because I want to encourage my friend Marcel. Right? So, that's what it is. Do you want to be a person who watch what happened? Do you want a person who wonder what happened? Or do you want to be a person who makes things happen? You can start today. Today can be a new day for you. When you're financially stable, you're going to have a good relationship. When you're financially stable, you're going to have a good marriage. When you're financially stable, you're going to have a happy home. My wife and I are so happy because we learn how to manage ourselves. We learn how to manage our budget. We learn how to manage our finances. Right? So, you learn finances is everything. It creates happiness or it creates stress. That's why so many people divorce because of money. Lack of knowledge on how to handle their money. Please don't be like that. At least you've heard today. Espero mko unanisikia ben kona sema. Ni kusaidiana mcommunity. Nobody knows everything, but each one of us can bring something. Nobody knows everything, but each one of us can contribute. So for me, I want to contribute on finances. I want to contribute on talking about money. Let's help each other grow. Let's help each other save. Learn to put money aside for tomorrow. Learn to put that money aside for, for a rainy day. Rainy day fund. Rainy day, have an umbrella when the rainy day comes. That the umbrella of protection is the money you've been saving. Right? So please, let's be a community that are good steward of money. So another thing I'm going to say, I'm going to be finishing up in a few seconds here. Another thing I'm going to say is, find a mentor. Find somebody who's going to teach you about money. Find somebody who's going to teach you about how to save your money. Right? Please, find somebody who's going to help you on how to save your money. Find somebody who's going to talk. Find somebody who's going to breathe knowledge into your life. Read a book of Proverbs too. There's so many examples there. Huh? So please, let's be wise with our money. Those with children, you get child tax benefit. Don't just spend it on buying shoes. Don't just spend it on buying useless stuff. Think of your child's future tomorrow. Money is so important, and that's why I want to talk about it. It makes families happy. It makes families stable. That's why it's important, right? Don't ever, another thing I want to say is, don't ever co-sign a loan of your friend. If a friend comes to you and say, hey, Aline, I want you to co-sign a loan for me. I'm going to buy this $40,000 car. I need someone to come and co-sign. Don't do it, right? Because why? If that friend of yours doesn't pay his loan, you are going to end up paying for it. So please think about that. Don't do it. If you want to help your friend with money, you can help them with money, but don't co-sign loans, because you become responsible when that person didn't pay their loan. Right? If someone default on their car loan and you signed for it, you become responsible to pay for that car. You're not going to get a car. You're just going to be paying for the loan. And if you don't pay for the loan, your credit is gone. In this country, it's good you have no money and have a good credit than having a bad credit and have money. So it's very important you have a good credit. Dave Ramsey doesn't talk about much credit, but that is very important. Please learn to build your credit. Right? Don't make stupid mistakes. I beg of you. Don't. Another thing I'm going to say, a car is a liability, it's not an asset. Learn to differentiate between assets and liability. Liability is a car, things that depreciate in value. When you buy a new shoe, you paid $500 for that Gucci shoe. That's a liability because it's losing money. It's depreciating in value. An asset is maybe a house. An asset is maybe an investment because that might grow in money. That's an asset. So be careful to try to live a life of showing off. Right? Don't be showing off. Nobody, the people you're trying to show off to don't even like you. Those people you're trying to show that you're the best dresser, the people that you have the best car, the best house, they don't even like you. If you heard what they say about you when you're not there, you'll be surprised. So don't show off. Learn to become a saver. Learn to look at the future. Learn to have delayed gratification in your life. That's a word I want everyone to go with. Delayed gratification. So another thing I'm going to say is take advantage of compounding interest. Take advantage of saving slowly so tomorrow you can start earning interest on that money. I gave my own example last week of how much interest I got on my money that I have been saving for many years. So learn to start saving slowly. Build a legacy for your family. Build a legacy for your children. Build a legacy for your wife, for your husband, and learn to become a good saver. I want to thank you all for watching us. So I'm going to leave the app information for Wealth Trade Simple and a few other tips on investing, dividend stocks, ETFs, REITs, all those terminology. It will be on our YouTube description. So Wealth Trade Simple is an app that I use. Please, I encourage everyone, learn to use it. Learn to invest slowly. Learn to buy stocks. It will help you learn this terminology. It will help you learn where your money goes, rather than you wondering where your money went. Right? Remember, you decide. You are the boss of your money. You are in control. You are in charge. Tell your money where to go. Order your money where to go. Don't wonder where your money went. Because some people get paid, you get paid, boom, the next day, the money is left. You don't even know. You don't have anything after payday. You have to wait until next payday. Learn to tell your money where to go. Learn to tell your money where to be. Tell your money, you go into my investment. You go into real estate. You go into my stocks. You go into savings, right, for tomorrow. Please, I beg of you. I beg of you, become wise with your money, become wise with your finances, and God will bless you. God bless people who are smart with their money. God bless people who know where their money go. Yeah? You are the boss of your money. Don't let your money control you. Don't let your money bully you. You are the boss of it. You are the boss of your money. My friend who's listening, thank you, Maria. I miss you. Fatuma, my sister, thank you. Learn to be an investor. Learn to become an investor at a young age. Teach your children about investing. I want to thank everyone. I say thank you for watching us tonight, and we will talk again next Sunday at the same time. We will be live again on every Sunday. We will start talking about money. If you have something you want us to discuss, if you have something you want us to talk, please don't be shy. Let me know. Send me a comment on YouTube, on Facebook. Share this video with your friend. It might help a young person out there. You know, I was talking to some young people yesterday, and they were telling me, everybody's talking about saving. I want to live my life now. I want to party after party. Tomorrow, who knows? I might die tomorrow. And I say, hey, do you know why people talk about save? There's a reason for that. Because tomorrow, right? You want to enjoy tomorrow. You want to have a better future, right? So keep that in mind. You know, living large today, party after party today, will make you poor tomorrow. I beg of you, my family, my community, my friends, become good steward of your money. Tell your money where to go. Tell your money what to do. Don't let your money tell you what to do. Don't let your money bully you. You are the boss. You are in charge. Thank you very much. And God bless you all. Thank you, Da Cristele. Thank you for everyone who commented today. I appreciate. Please share this video with anyone that you know. It might help. And that's how we grow as a community. Let's be supportive of each other. Let's be encouraging to each other. And we will all grow. Thank you. Tune in next week at 7 p.m. Next Sunday at 7 p.m. We will have more. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that's how we grow. Thank you guys. And God bless you. See you next one. You are the best. You are smart. You are wise. Tell your money where to go. Learn to save. Learn to avoid debt.